Previously on Election.
If I was elected leader of this country, I would set up theatre groups and dance classes.
10 of Britain's best young leaders have been put to the test.
I think that all leaders should show confidence when they're speaking.
I think I can lead a group of people without being too overpowering or bossy.
They've had to campaign against dog poo.
Scoop that poo!
Sell fruit and veg on Oxford Street.
Eat your way to 5 a day! Come and try your fruit today!
And persuade office workers to dance. 7 survive. From now on, there'll be more fun and frolics on a heart-wrenching adventure as they battle it out to prove who is the best leader.
Children have minds, and adults have to stop taking control all of the time.
The final 2 will face each other in Parliament for the chance to win a personal meeting with the Prime Minister. Series judge Jonathan Dimbleby is tough and says exactly what he thinks.
I think you led rather badly.
And each week, one of them will be sent home.
Your campaign's over.
Last week, Jack led the Green team to victory on the Thames.
I want to see you wave like crazy.
Wait!
The Purple team got in trouble for making stuff up.
I think that they would have built it to encourage people to get involved in the theatre business. I think I was improvising at that point.
That's a little bit from making it up.
But Reem was lost for words
Sorry about that.
and got eliminated.
Your campaign's over.
In today's show, the teams stay the same, and once again, one member of the losing side will be eliminated.
Morning all. Morning. Now you're an honest bunch and I was wondering if you could help me. This morning I was a little bit paranoid, put this dress on, but I thought my bum looked big in it. Do you think my bum looks big in it? No. Fine. Well, you're being very nice and you're being very diplomatic, so thank you very much. And this is what the show is all about, diplomacy. So are you ready for our test of skills?
Yes.
Come on, let's do it.
Our judge, Jonathan Dimbleby, is hoping to discover which of our survivors are the best diplomats.
There are now 7 candidates left in this election. And in this programme, I'll be testing them on diplomacy. Things to remember. Don't cause unnecessary offence. Try to get on with people and be sensitive to other cultures. All skills that a leader needs.
If a leader is going to get on well with different kinds of people, they need to cope with things they're not used to and show great manners. Liz Brewer has hosted hundreds of posh parties and knows that manners are about more than just remembering to say please and thank you.
We're going to cover things which is going to hopefully give you, those of you who need it, a little bit more confidence. Confidence into be able to reach that goal.
And the goal today is to behave well at a posh dinner party. Our test of skills is a battle of table manners. Being sensitive to other cultures can mean eating stuff you're not used to. So we're giving each team some really icky seafood.
Fantastic. So now each take one, and I want you to show me how you would eat them.
You can see his eyes.
The right way to eat a prawn is to rip its head and tail off with your bare hands. A finger bowl is for washing your fingers, not for giving your prawn a bath.
No. One thing you do not do is wash your prawn in your finger bowl, okay?
Izzy just made a faux pas. That's posh for a big no-no.
That is for your fingers, not your prawns. Now.
Next up, lobsters. They might be ugly, but at over £25 a pop, they're the most expensive item on the menu.
Ooh, is that the brains?
It's guts coming out. That's absolutely disgusting.
I'm touching some fish.
If you hack your pricey lobster to pieces like a specimen from a science lab, then you're bound to upset your host.
You've made such a mess here, Izzy.
And that's the wrong bit of the lobster, isn't it?
I don't know what bit is that.
So far, so messy.
I've drawn blood.
I'm enjoying my lobster.
Time for the ultimate test of manners. Some salty, slimy oysters. I've never tried an oyster before, so I thought I'd go first.
Gurgle, 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 gurgle. You can hear it wiggling down.
Swallow. Yeah. Swallow.
Swallow it.
Swallow.
Oh,
No, swallow. Swallow. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Good.
Give it a big dish.
No, you got to swallow. You got to. Oh.
The oyster holds no fear for the green team's Jack. How will Quincy cope with his slimy snack?
Now what are you going to do?
If you really can't eat the food you're given, you've got to get out of it with good grace.
Did you swallow it? You have. Don't you like it? Just swallow it. It's not going to come back and bite you. That can happen to you. You can be at a formal gathering and you're given something you've never had before. You've got to be able to do it without causing a scene.
So, not the most successful dinner party in the world. Liz has now got the tricky job of deciding which team's manners were least bad.
Time for Liz to announce the winner of today's test of skills. Over to you.
Very, very difficult. In both teams, you've got one or two who were pretty bad. I think we're going to give it to the green team.
Well done, Greens. Thank you, Liz. You've learned so much today.
So, the Greens have won an advantage in our leadership challenge. Quincy puts the purple team's defeat down to his oyster.
As soon as it went into my mouth, I just thought this slimy, substance, salty. It just reminded me of a slug, in salt water.
Let's hope there's no raw seafood on the menu in our make or break leadership challenge. We're going to be holding a party at this posh hotel for some international guests. The most important diplomats are called ambassadors, and part of their job is to impress people from other countries. There'll be unusual food, tricky languages, and strict rules as we put our team's leadership skills to the test at our ambassador's reception. Each team will have to sample frog's legs from France, cold liver from Turkey, spicy stew from Ethiopia, and unfortunately for Quincy, raw eel from Japan. Back at the election leadership house, the candidates gather in the garden.
So it's now time for me to tell you about your leadership challenge. What you're all going to be doing is hosting an ambassador's reception.
Quincy is leader of the purple team, and Hazel is leader of the green team.
Now, I was thinking, to host an ambassador's reception, you need to dress to impress. And I've got some garments you're going to love.
It's bye-bye hoodies and hello high heels. Each team has 2 minutes to find a fashionable look.
This is just I'll wear the white shirt.
What is going on? Oh, that's silver! That's massive!
Hey, good afternoon and welcome to our party.
The purple team are left with the cast-offs.
Oh no! Oh no!
Boys, which one? This one or this one?
That one looks more. That looks classy. I think yellow looks good with black. That is all that one.
Tudor, did you forget these?
Yeah, I did. The actual game.
Each team has a pile of booklets packed with facts about 8 different countries. Green leader Hazel tells her team to learn absolutely everything.
It's only 5 o'clock. We've got quite a while to read all these booklets. I mean, that's 5 hours before we go to bed.
Purple leader Quincy has a different plan.
Don't bother remembering all these statistics.
He wants to concentrate purely on a few key phrases and rules.
Hello is Konnichiwa.
The Ethiopian language Amharic is probably the trickiest to master.
Oh my goodness, have you seen the language of Ethiopia?
With South Korea, never point your chopsticks.
We know where Egypt is, and we know where Japan is. Japan is in China.
If they do well, they'll be boosting their chances of reaching the final in Parliament and winning a meeting with the Prime Minister. The teams gather at the 4-star hotel, ready to host the poshest party of their lives, their ambassador's reception.
But I must say, you're all looking rather slick. Fantastic, you look wonderful.
Each team needs a British ambassador who meets the foreign guests. Green team leader Hazel picks Hannah. Purple team leader Quincy picks himself.
The ambassador is the only person allowed to speak to the guests. Okay? Yep. Thank you.
Jonathan Dimbleby arrives. As our eagle-eyed judge, his job is to watch out for any signs of weakness. At the end of the show, he will decide which member of the losing team is eliminated.
Well, the basic conversation is going to be hello in the language. Then I think you should say
At 14, Hazel is the oldest girl left in election, but the pressure is all on Hannah, the youngest at just 11.
Obviously with French, you're really confident in talking. With Ethiopia or something, you might be like, oh my goodness, what's your language? You know what I mean?
Quincy decides to keep things simple.
I'll start off by showing off, like, what we've learned.
Yeah,
that will make a good first impression. So
Quincy may be in the spotlight, but Tudor and Izzy will be expected to provide backup.
Remember, like, the bowing things, like some countries like bowing,
some shake hands.
Yeah.
You just need to speak with confidence and just...
Jack and Amadi are there to give Hannah any help she needs.
If you know something in Italian, you can start a conversation about that.
If you're really struggling, then you just go straight to Jack and then he'll come and I'll find
just be like, just turn around and just say, come in,
Because if it's a country that you really do not know, then they can give you...
The teams won't be told which country each guest is from. They'll have to work it out for themselves. First up, Quincy for the purple team. Will he be able to figure out where his first guest is from? Quincy guesses correctly that the first guest is Ethiopian. Will he remember the right table manners? Izzy is outside with the booklets.
Ethiopian food, Ethiopian food.
She has to have all the facts to hand so she can give Tudor the answers to any questions Quincy may have.
It doesn't say anything about food. Sorry.
Luckily, Quincy remembers that Ethiopians eat stew with their fingers.
Very good. Not that spicy, but I can handle it.
Quincy guesses wrongly that his next guest is Greek.
Is it Yasa?
No.
Luckily, Tudor's on hand to put him right.
Yes.
Oh, Adrian. Oh, Turkey.
You should say merhaba.
Yeah, maraba.
I think Quincy will be like talking to them because he's quite good at talking to people in that way, you know. I don't know, he's quite posh, to be honest. I mean, if I was doing it, I'd probably say whatever all the time.
Do you support any teams in Turkey?
Yes, I do.
Because they did really well in Euro 2008, so I think...
Quincy charms the Turkish guest by taking a clued-up interest in his country.
Kasim Richards, do you...
He plays for my team in Turkey, Fenerbahce. Yes.
Oh, what's the name of that team?
Fenerbahce.
Oh, okay.
The nationality of Quincy's next guest is not that hard to guess. The berry and stripes are a bit of a giveaway.
Je m'appelle Quincy. J'ai fait de français à ma collège, c'est bien.
And everything seems to be going well. Until he sees the food. Frog's legs.
He's got frog's legs. He's eating frog's legs.
France? He's eating France. Like France is here.
Yeah, I've never tried frog's legs before, actually.
Like it. It's very...
Quincy has no idea how to eat frog's legs. If he gets it wrong, he will offend the French guest. As advisor, Tudor's job is to give Quincy tips. Luckily, he's got a helpful idea.
Ask him how to eat the frog's legs. Okay, yeah, well, obviously, you're very proud of your food and your culture. And for me, I've never tried frog's legs before, so could you demonstrate how to eat it, please? Okay.
Why is it tasty like chicken?
It's the poulet.
Yeah,
it tastes just like
exactly,
chicken.
Yeah. So did you like it?
Yeah, I really didn't expect it to taste as good, but it just looks like chicken and tastes like chicken too.
So far, Quincy's showing all the diplomatic skills of a true leader. His one-room world tour ends in Japan. Can he finish in style?
I heard that the food is great, so that's something that I really want to get into. So, should we start by taking this off?
Yum! Raw eel. Last time Quincy ate raw seafood, he was sick. That wouldn't be very diplomatic.
The moment of truth. It's really quite, like, hard to eat.
Gotta finish off,
Tudor thinks Japanese people find it rude if you don't finish every scrap of eel. He's wrong. What they really find rude is someone being sick in front of them. If Quincy is sick, it will be a diplomatic disaster.
Usually we eat it in one go, so we don't make a mess.
Well, so you'd eat it in one go and then chew it in your mouth?
That's right.
Fortunately, Quincy's time in Japan is almost up and his eel ordeal is over.
Thank you for this wonderful food and this wonderful conversation. Okay. And as you'd say in Japanese, sayonara and origato.
Tudor diplomatically removes the uneaten chunks in a napkin.
Thank you. Yeah, it was just eel, and I'm like, I can't chew it.
Man.
It was impossible to chew. It was
well done, though. You did well.
Next up, it's the green team.
Come on, Hannah, do this.
Hazel and Jack try to bolster Hannah's confidence.
You know the languages. If you just think about it in your head, you know them. You know a couple of exchanges.
Hello in Ethiopian?
And if... Telestelen.
And you know the languages. You've been doing these languages for a night.
And also...
The Ethiopian language, Amharic, is the one Hannah finds the toughest. Advisor Jack's even more at sea. He thinks she's Korean. It only adds to Hannah's confusion. Faced with a room full of important adult guests, it's all too much. The green team retreat.
I don't blame Hannah for being like that, because I was watching their preparation, their planning, and the other two were really riding her hard. They weren't allowing her to be herself.
Hannah overcomes her fear and tries again. But how well will her team support her?
Hello, how are you today? So I see we have a table and some food.
Yes.
Is it a native dish?
Very much Ethiopian, yes.
Jack goes off to find out about Ethiopian table manners.
Information Ethiopia.
I don't know what to say.
Bow before speaking.
Shh.
Jack's too late to help Hannah avoid making a faux pas.
Pardon?
There is no cutlery.
Oh, okay.
She should be using her fingers.
It's just only the tip of your finger, not the palm.
Yep.
And you just scoop it up like this.
Team leader Hazel sends Jack to advise Hannah.
Ask her what other foods they eat and different things like that.
Yeah, so this is obviously a very national dish, but what other sort of foods do you actually eat?
Well, it's the lamb dish.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Okay, well, this does look really nice, but I probably don't actually have any time to eat it.
Will Jack help Hannah deal with her next dish? Cold liver from Turkey.
No, I need turkey now.
Turkey,
Right,
there you go.
information. So I'm guessing you do use a knife and fork.
We do, definitely.
Enjoy food and the meal is time for relaxing.
Okay.
Tea and coffee for and don't go cheap.
Will Jack have some dazzling conversation tips?
Ask him why mealtime is relaxing for them, why they're relaxed while they're eating.
So, why do you relax so much while you're eating?
Are you referring to something specific?
It says in their meal times it's for relaxing, they like to relax.
Oh, it says we have a little booklet, and it says that when you have meal times you like to relax.
If Hannah's going to deal elegantly with the next dish, frog's legs from France, she will need some seriously good advice from her team.
Ask him, does he class it as rude if you have your elbows on the table while eating dinner?
All right. Do you...
Elbows? Not the world's most exciting conversation topic. A few hints on how to eat frog's legs might have been more handy. Hannah tries to gobble each.
You're halfway through, Hannah.
Okay. Thank you.
She's not eating it, she spat it out in the tissue.
Just one more guest to impress. From Japan.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
It's impolite to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Hannah, and
Jack's too late again.
I love your kimono. It's sort of got all the patterns on it. Is that sort of Japanese writing that only Japanese people can understand?
It's actually a design that the base.
Hannah's doing a good job of charming her guest, until Jack wades in again.
Ask her about food and what's like the traditional Japanese dish and things.
I will in a minute, Jack. So I see you've brought some food today.
Yeah. And Gus is going to reveal what you have.
I think you're going to really love this one. It's raw eel.
That's interesting. It looks a bit scary, actually. I've never actually seen an eel.
Hannah deals gracefully with her eel, then bravely swallows her red-hot wasabi sauce.
Ooh, that was hot.
What was that little prawn cracker thing? What was it?
That was incredibly hot.
Everything hinges on the panel's vote. The winning team all get to stay. One member of the losing team gets sent home by Jonathan Dimbleby. International guests, we'd like you to vote for the colour of the team you think did the better job. We'll start with Ethiopia, please.
Purple team.
The purple team.
Yes! Purple team.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! Wow! Well done.
Oh my God.
Well done, Grace.
The purple team gets a treat for winning. They receive VIP treatment, a tour of the kitchen, and some tastier food. For the losing greens, it's back to the house to face Jonathan Dimbleby. He will decide which one of them will be eliminated.
Well, first thing to say is, it was a big test for both teams, but you completely lost it in the vote. Hannah, you were the person right in the front. You were the person who had to perform. You don't think you were the only person to blame for the failure, do you, Hannah?
No. No, I don't.
Who do you think should take the blame yourself?
I think I'm half to blame, but also on the second go, when we all went in, I think Jack told me what to do too much. He was meant to help me when I needed help and called him over, but he didn't. He just came in and told me a load of questions to tell the people, and I don't. That's not what he was meant to do.
Jack, am I right that Amardeep gave you and the rest of the team from the start all the way through the information you needed? He had his facts there?
Yeah, he had them all laid out. And every time I ran out, I would say, right, I need Japan. So he'd go to the back of the book, highlighted bit, clothes. So I'd run back in and say, Hannah, just ask them about clothes. So,
OK. Anyone think that Amardeep should take the blame for this?
No.
Not at all.
No.
I agree with you. Amardeep, you're safe and you need to room. Do you realise how much you just, Jack, interrupted without even listening?
Yeah.
In the room, just telling Hannah to say things. How was she meant to even listen to what she was being told? How was she meant to think for herself?
When she was talking, I think that there was... I could tell that it was coming up to again, there was going to be a silence, like, not a silence, but there was going to be, like, kind of... You couldn't carry the conversation on.
You didn't give her a chance to carry a conversation on. I thought that when she was free to carry a conversation on, she actually did it quite nicely. She was quite spontaneous, quite immediate, you know.
Yeah, she was very good.
And hold it. And one more thing, you raised the most extraordinary thing. You asked her with I think with the French guest, you said ask him about putting his elbows on the table. What was that to do with what?
One of the things highlighted was about elbows on the table, so I wanted to know...
I know what you wanted to do. You wanted to get the information Hazel wanted you to get across.
Yeah.
But you didn't listen and you didn't think out there. A leader has to listen and think and be supportive. Hazel, you were in charge of this team.
Yep.
Do you think you led properly?
I think I led very well on this occasion because one of the main things was knowing the language of the people. The night before, I made sure our team was prepared. I highlighted all the 8 books so my team had the useful information.
So you were well organised?
Yep.
I think you were well organised too, but that's not leadership. It's all very well to come up with lists of what should be done. And it's all very well to lead from the front. But if you bombard your team with information, and you were bombarding Hannah through Jack and yourself directly in the planning and in the execution, it becomes almost impossible. If I were Hannah, I'd have wanted to say, get away from me, give me a chance.
Because of the fact that Hannah unfortunately did crumble in the first bit, me and Jack maybe possibly lost confidence. So we wanted to make sure Hannah always had information there so she then didn't have to crumble and get too nervous.
But that's not being encouraging necessarily. That can be very dominating. It can be just telling, and that can make someone who's feeling nervous even more nervous, can't it?
I think
so. That's not good leadership, is it?
No, but I think...
And you said at the beginning you thought you'd led really well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think you led rather badly today. Jack, you're safe. You can go.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. Which of you should go, Hazel?
Unfortunately, I will have to say Hannah, because in life you don't get second chance at things. You do need to meet important people. If you're nervous, okay, you can pass that. You can't break down. Maybe she should have gone forward again.
Is that fair, Hannah?
I don't think it is. I think I worked really hard, but as you said before, Hazel, she was just throwing information at all of us, expecting us to learn it all, like she does, and I don't think that's fair.
This is a really difficult decision for me. But, Hannah, in lots of ways you did it nicely. I liked your natural style and your humour. But, when I had to judge, you weren't very hot on the facts, you weren't very hot on the language, and you weren't asking enough about the other person's country and their culture. But, Hannah, I'm going to have to say, your campaign's over.
He was really harsh.
But do you think he was truthful?
Yeah, he was, yeah, unfortunately.
What have you learnt from this
Well,
experience?
as soon as I was told that I led quite badly, then yeah, I think just now, from now on, if I'm ever a teenager again, I'm just not going to be as bombarding and try not to have like high standards of people.
Hannah was the weakest, and she was having to put on the big performance which a leader has to be able to do. And she, very nice, very bright girl, she couldn't hack it on that occasion, so she had to go.
Did you think what Hazel said about you was fair, and was it hard to hear?
I thought it was fair. I mean, I didn't mind. I mean, we've all said that, you know, everything we say in there will be for our own survival, and, you know, we don't mean it personally. It's just so we can survive in the competition, and I think everybody accepts that. And I think it's fair.
What are you going to miss most?
You.
Don't make me cry. Please don't make me cry. Well, I'm going to miss you too. Now Hannah's campaign is over, only 6 candidates survive. On next week's election, our candidates have to brave Anne Widdecombe.
I hope you guys are ready for a pretty fearsome experience.
And win an argument on Newsnight.
We need to take action now. £500 per mosquito. Imagine what that will do.